Hello, I'm Randy McClure. Welcome to the latest supply chain tech brief. All right, let's talk e-commerce delivery. Getting an order from that first click all the way to a customer's front door, it seems simple, right? But honestly, it's a total minefield. One little mistake can cost you big time in both money and worse customers. So today, we're going to break down the 5 essential steps to totally master that journey. We're talking faster, cheaper deliveries and customers who are just way happier. Let's get into it. I want you to just take a second and picture this. Imagine looking at your operations dashboard and seeing, well, perfection. Zero late deliveries, zero stockouts. The warehouse nailing every single order on the first try. And the best part, the absolute best part, your customer service phones are just silent. It sounds like a dream, doesn't it? But here's the thing, it's not. It is absolutely achievable. Okay, so how do you actually do it? How do you make that dream your everyday reality? Well, it's not magic, I can tell you that. It really boils down to just one thing: truly mastering the journey of every single order. And that is exactly what we're going to do right now. We're going to follow one package from click to delivery through the 5 most critical stages. And at each stop, we're going to uncover the secrets to making it all work perfectly. So our journey starts at the very beginning, the moment of the click. This is where your customer is typing in their information. And look, getting this initial data entry perfect, it is the foundation for absolutely everything else. Seriously, if you mess this part up, nothing that comes after it even matters. And believe it or not, the single biggest point of failure in this whole process, it's not some super complex software bug. Nope, it's the customer's shipping address. Just one wrong number, one misspelled street name, and the entire thing can just grind to a halt. We're talking wasted time, wasted money, and a customer who's quickly losing trust in you. So the key here is to build a system that makes it almost impossible to get this wrong. And the source material lays out 2 really clear ways to do it. First, you use autocorrection software right there in your checkout. And second, for that extra layer of confidence, you validate those addresses directly against the USPS database. It's simple, it's effective, and man, it saves you from a world of headaches later on. And this quote just hits the nail on the head, right? Technology is an awesome tool, but it's not the whole answer. The great W. Edwards Deming reminds us that real quality, it comes from the process and the people running it. You can have the best software on the planet, but it's not going to fix a broken strategy. All right, so we've got a clean, correct order in the system. Perfect. Now our package moves on to stage 2, the warehouse. This is where the physical journey really kicks off, and the goal here is nothing less than perfection. Absolute perfection. And boom, Deming hits us with another truth bomb. Think about it. Sending the wrong item or something that's damaged, it's not just about the cost of a return label. The real cost, the business you lose from that customer and from everyone they tell about their bad experience, you can't even put a number on that. The stakes in the warehouse, they are incredibly high. So, how do you actually aim for that perfection? Well, this checklist is basically your playbook. Ship the same day the order comes in. Never ever sell products you don't actually have in stock. That is like the cardinal sin of e commerce. Don't charge the customer until the order has actually shipped. And this last one is so important. Remember, you are the one setting the promise date, not the carrier. You own that promise. And this brings us to a really important kind of gut check question you have to ask yourself. Is your core business making and selling an amazing product? Or is your core business running a world class logistics operation? And look, if your answer isn't logistics, then maybe the smartest move is to let the experts handle it. That's where a 3PL, a third party logistics provider, comes into the picture. Just think of them as specialists who do all the warehousing and shipping for you. And here's why that can be such a game changer. They've got the scale, the tech, the know how that you might not. Bringing on a 3PL lets you get back to focusing on what you do best, your products, while they nail the fulfillment. It can be a huge, huge advantage. Okay, stage 3. The package is picked, packed, and it's perfect. It's officially left the warehouse, and now it's with a carrier, like UPS or FedEx. This is the famous last mile, and it's the most visible part of the journey. And honestly, it's often where things can get a little messy. And this is where a really dangerous gap can open up between promise and reality. You paid for 2-day delivery, you promised your customer 2-day delivery, but then The reality is a 3-day delivery, and you've got a really unhappy customer. At the end of the day, a promise is just a broken promise if you don't keep it. And here's something you really need to get. Getting a refund from your carrier because a package was late, that is not a win. It's basically a receipt for your failure. All that refund does is prove that you broke your promise to your customer. It does absolutely nothing to fix their frustration or get their trust back. So, what's the goal then? What should you be aiming for? Simple. When you're paying for a premium, guaranteed service, your on time rate should be way up in the high 90s. The source material says you should be shooting for 98%. That's the bar. That's the standard for excellence. And you have to hold your carriers accountable to it. Okay, so the package is on the truck, but we are not done yet. Not even close. Now we get to stage 4, which is all about the customer's experience of that delivery. And the keyword here is proactive. We want to solve problems before they even become problems. This right here, this says it all. The absolute peak, the ultimate goal of e commerce customer service is for your customers to never have to call you and ask, "Where's my stuff?" Total silence. Not because you're ignoring them, but because you've done such a good job, they have no questions. They know where their package is, and it shows up right when you said it would. That's the win. But, things happen. So for those times when a customer does have to call, you have to be ready. That means hold times need to be basically zero. It means your agents need real time info right at their fingertips so they can actually solve the problem on the first try. And you absolutely need a clear, rock solid process for the tricky stuff like returns or delivery issues. And this last quote from Deming, honestly, it's pretty chilling when you think about it. He's saying the real danger isn't the customer who calls you up to complain. The real danger is the one who's so unhappy they don't even bother. They just switch, they leave, and you never hear from them again. Okay, so we followed the package all the way through. Now for the final and maybe most important step, the continuous improvement loop. How do you make sure all these different parts are working together and always getting better? The answer is simple. You measure everything. Because if you're not tracking it, you can't improve it. It's time to get data driven. And the main tool for that is the KPI, which stands for Key Performance Indicator. Don't let the name scare you. All it is a number. It's a measurable value that tells you exactly how you're doing on something important. It's how you turn a vague idea like good service into a hard number you can actually track. And this table here is where it all comes together. These KPIs, they basically turn each step of the journey we just talked about into a number. On time, in full, that's your main report card. Order fill rate tells you how good your warehouse is doing. And my favorite, the WISMO rate, that literally stands for where is my order. It's a direct measurement of customer anxiety. Every single one of those calls is a signal. Tracking these numbers is how you stop dreaming about excellence and actually start achieving it. And all of this brings us to one final, really critical question you have to ask yourself. After seeing this whole journey, what is your supply chain to you? Is it just a cost center, something on a spreadsheet that you're always trying to shrink? Or do you see it for what it can be? Your single best marketing tool, a way to create loyal customers who come back again and again and tell their friends about you. How you answer that question, well, that's probably going to define your success.
Hello, this is Raymond McClure from SC Tech Insights. Thank you for listening. For more on this topic, click the article link below or go to www.sctechinsights.com for the latest insights on supply chain technology. Thank you and see you next time.